Welcome to Cars from a Woman's Perspective. I'm Alyssa Berry with your automotive review from a woman's point of view. I drive some of the most popular cars made today. Sports cars, off-road cars, luxury cars, and my favorite, testing high-performance vehicles on the track. We'll look under the hood, explore manufacturer culture, put seasonal packages to the test, and I'll give you my honest opinion from behind the wheel. Find your automotive review from a woman's point of view at Cars from a Woman's Perspective. So you're looking at the all-new Mini Cooper Coupe. Adorable, isn't she? Even if she is covered in snow. So this car boasts the cold weather package and all-season tires. So let's give her a test and see how she does. It happened to snow the night before. A lot. Parking on the street after a snowstorm can be tricky. I not only had to clean off my car, but clear a path to get out. It's not quite the car you would think about driving in these conditions, but since it boasts a cold weather package, let's see how it does on slushy Denver roads. The package comes with auto dimming and power folding mirrors, heated washer jets, and heated front seats. The Mini Cooper is basically a beefed-up, street-legal go-kart. With a 4-cylinder 1.6-liter engine, it pumps out 121 horsepower. Now that might sound puny, but it really isn't. This car truly drives like a fun toy and fights like a ninja. You've heard of donuts in the parking lot? Well, this is Snow Nuts. This car is very well suited for somebody my size, and it's a lot of fun to drive. After a huge snowstorm like this, all the streets basically become one-way streets because you have to watch out for other people coming your way. But you're not taking up a lot of room like you would in an SUV, so it feels like a little bit more polite on the road. Whee! Tight turn central, no problem. It's a little bit of a bumpy ride, but at the same time, that's kind of the point. This is for people that really enjoy driving and do it kind of for the sport of it. So this is Mini Cooper's first two-seater, and for someone who's kind of short like me, I'm only 5'4", it's perfect size. The birth of the original Mini Cooper came in response to the fuel shortage from the Suez Canal crisis in 1956. In response, the following year, they built a small, fuel-efficient car that could carry 4 adults. It's so compact that 80% of the car's footprint is used for passengers and luggage. There's a Mini Cooper right there, actually. Hey there, buddy. My sister. My Cooper sister. The Mini is always simple to park, no matter what size the spot is. And, as if it wasn't miniature enough, the side mirrors tuck in to make parking even more compact. The spoiler automatically rises when you pass 50 miles an hour and hides back down at 37. And if you're feeling type A, you can manually pop it up and down too. Start-stop buttons aren't new, but they're still super fun to push. Like being in a mini spaceship. The retro-style switches look like they came off a submarine. For a small car, there's a lot of room in the trunk, with a pass-through for all your what-have-yous. Thanks for joining us for a look at the two-door hardtop coupe. Cars from a Woman's Perspective will be right back. Today we're taking a test drive in the Lamborghini Huracan. Lamborghini is one of my dream cars. I have had a poster of Lamborghinis on my wall ever since I was a little girl, and this is my first time behind the wheel of a Lamborghini, and I want to share this experience with you. Let's take a drive in the Huracan.
This is the 2015 Lamborghini Huracan. It replaces the Gallardo, and this is the actual car that Alyssa took out with me in the passenger seat for Cars from a Woman's Perspective. The whole car is based on the concept of the beginning of life and the hexagon. We have Alcantara inserts in the seats that hug you while you drive. It's 610 horsepower. V10 LP engine, that means it's placed longitudinally instead of transverse. Brembo brakes for fast stopping, just like a Formula 1 driver. When you drive fast, you want to stop fast. Right, Alyssa?
It's like we're braking, baby!
And the car is perfectly balanced, as Alyssa can attest to from her drive. The Huracan has 3 different modes. There's Strada for regular driving on the street, nice, easy driving, comfortable. Sport mode for when you want to break it wide open and you don't see any police officers.
So no cops, let's go.
It's geared perfectly to take you up to the maximum RPMs and shift at the perfect moment so you feel like a great Formula 1 driver. And if you're on the track, it has a Corsa setting to break it wide open and make this thing a beast.
We didn't use the Corsa setting on the road because that's not what it's meant for, and that wouldn't have been a sound decision. So I've read that the Huracan is considered like the entry-level Lamborghini. Mm-hmm. Why is that?
Well, it's a V10. It's replacing the Gallardo, and they also offer the Aventador, which is a V12.
I have been really enamored and in love with Lamborghini since I was a little girl. What is it about this brand that you like particularly?
It's the attention to the performance of the car, and in this car you can feel also the attention to comfort and luxury. So it's not just a it is a flat-out sports car, but you also get the comfortable seats, the comfortable suspension. It's magnetic suspension, it's adjustable. So you get the feeling of comfort, not that just you're in a track car. So now we're in Strada mode.
Okay.
So you can tell that the shift points are nice and low. It's easy everyday driving. It's not intimidating, right? Very easy to drive, comfortable, very comfortable suspension. And so now if you want to flip the button down and put it in sport mode, that changes the suspension a bit, beefs up the exhaust, it changes the shift points significantly. So that if you were to go flat out, then it'll shift that red line.
The Huracan is all-wheel drive with a 6-speed dual clutch. One of the clutches hits the odd gears and the other hits the even gears, with a 50 millisecond shift time. My God, I love this car.
Isn't it comfy? It's so comfortable. It's so easy to drive. It's very easy to drive. But you feel so connected. You still feel so involved with the drive.
Definitely. All right.
That's the soundtrack.
That was awesome! That was awesome! Yeah, and it's braking. It's like we're braking, baby! It's a lot faster than I thought, honestly. I was like, wow, I'm here already. That was awesome.
sports car that's going to be for the track. It's going to expect it to be stripped down and uncomfortable. And if it's not, then it's going to compromise performance. But this is both. 610 horsepower, the top speed is 202 miles per hour.
Oh my god. It's amazing how you can just immediately get used to this.
It's definitely a car for the extroverts.
I am never going to be the same. Wow. Oh my god. The Lamborghini Huracan is the most incredible experience I have yet experienced in my life. This is officially my favorite car on the planet. Every single moment behind the wheel of this car, you're just thinking, does life get any better than this? Are you freaking kidding me? I mean, you step on the gas and the car goes so much faster than you would anticipate it to go. At least it did for me. And when you brake, you put it in sport mode and it's like it really brakes, it's really responding. And as long as you're not doing anything completely stupid behind the wheel, you still have to be in control of the car that you're driving. It is just the most luxurious experience of my life. And this is officially my favorite car. It's a Lamborghini Huracan, and I really want one. Like really, 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 really bad. Cars from a Woman's Perspective will be right back. The Creme de la Chrome Car Show happens annually in Denver. Showcasing over 500 cars, trucks, and bikes at the Colorado Convention Center, there's plenty of room for checking out one-of-a-kind automotive restorations. I not only interviewed the creator of the show, but I got to sit in his replica 1930 Roadster. This little beauty right here. Well, I'm here with Joe Haska, the man that started this entire show. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm really good. It's nice to be here.
Thank you. Well, you started this whole show because you have such a love of hot rods 16 years ago?
Well, even longer than that. I've been doing car shows for 30 years, but I started this company, I think this is our 16th or 17th year. And we've turned the reins over to my son and his wife.
Nice.
And it's kind of a bad deal because now people know how it should have been run all the years.
Oh.
He's
Well,
doing a great job.
You've run this show for 16 years.
Yeah.
What was the passion that made you start this?
Absolute cars, just a total passion since I was 4 years old. I just have loved cars, and I love the hot rods, and it's so much fun to put all these beautiful cars in this building, and you feel like they're all yours, and you put them around. And so I passed the torch to him and his wife, and they're doing a phenomenal job with this show. I think it looks as great this year as it's ever looked. The diversity of the cars here is amazing. Of course, we're sitting here in a quintessential hot rod. I mean, this is the beginning of hot rodding, but there's Ferraris in here, there's Lamborghinis, there's drag cars. So if it has anything to kind of do with gearheads or cars, it's here. So there's something for everybody. I'll tell you what, it's a standard rule. The car always looks better with the woman sitting. I've noticed that totally. It's always that way.
I think I'd have to agree. So tell me about this hot rod.
This is patterned after a traditional 32 Ford Roadster. This is what they look like. But this car is all new technology. It has a tube chassis, not dissimilar of an IndyCar chassis or Formula One chassis. It's a race car chassis. It's super safe. The body is carbon fiber.
Nice.
It's very reasonably priced car. And what I really like about it, this car was designed to drive. You're supposed to drive this car like you stole it. And that's what you want to do. But the other thing that's so neat about it, while you are driving it while you stole it, it's very safe. We have 4-point harnesses in it, has a full tube chassis. You could get hit by a Mack truck and be in pretty good shape. In fact, if you've heard of Bonneville and racing and stuff, the guys that tech chassis for Bonneville said the chassis on this car would pass to run at Bonneville. So it's really set up to go. We can put you in this car running and driving for approximately $35,000.
Really?
Wow. Which in today's market is
That doesn't happen. It looks beautiful.
I don't enjoy driving what everybody else drives. It's a quirk.
I like that. I like that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cars from a Woman's Perspective will be right back. The Porsche Club of America hosts the annual Chicks on Slicks event at the Colorado State Patrol Track. The event is an opportunity for teaching women performance driving. 303 Motorsports in Wheat Ridge is a sponsor of the event.
I was so impressed by not just the event and the way it was organized, but the looks on the women's faces as they were participating in the event was like, you know, this is amazing. This is something that we really want to be a part of.
They're helping the cars get track ready and hosting a pre-event info session.
Chicks on Slicks is such a great opportunity for any gal that has wanted to drive a car in some performance capacity. It provides an ability to do that in a very, very safe setting and in a legal setting.
Right. You can bring your own car, and any car is track worthy. Of course, it has to pass a tech inspection to make sure you don't drop oil on the track and to make sure your car is safe for the event. It started in 1995.
The event's actually been around 20 years. Our Porsche division boasts the highest number of women drivers.
A lot of us are driving fast on the highway, and we really like that, but now we want to do it in a more controlled environment. We want to go a little faster and have a lot more skill and be safe doing it.
Porsche Club, the different regions throughout the country average about 3% female drivers. Rocky Mountain region has 10%.
Over half the women are new drivers, and so they're bringing their cars out for the first time to try and see what they're going to do. They want to go fast. They want to see what it's like to be on a track.
The Colorado State Patrol Track is designed for training state troopers. But today, the track is completely dedicated to teaching women how to drive fast safely.
Some women have experience and are experienced drivers. Some have their own race cars.
There are rules that we have to follow in terms of passing and such. And every new driver has an instructor put in the seat with them.
Perfect.
So there's instruction all along the way. So many people want to ask you, how fast did you go? And driving on a track, it's about how you come into the corners that makes it safe so you don't spin.
Participants can learn braking, how to come into a turn, and you learn how to control your car.
It's very methodical, and you'll learn safety. You really will.
Stopping, starting, turning, how to anticipate the road. Whether you're driving on a track or on the highway, all of these situations can occur and just makes you a safer driver and can get you out of very unexpected, unpleasant situations very quickly and easily.
They allow any vehicle to ride, but if you have an SUV, it must be a Porsche Cayenne or Macan.
Because it is a Porsche event, and we know that those SUVs have a sport suspension.
So this is for your everyday driver?
It can be, yes. Everyone thinks they need a sports car.
We have folks who are bringing out their Camaros and their Mustangs and their Challengers and their Mercedes and Porsches and BMWs and Minis.
The Colorado State Patrol Track is a relatively small track at 1.2 miles long with 8 turns.
So today I'm driving my 1985 911 Porsche race car with a new brake system. So we've been working on brakes for
Brakes are
months.
good.
Brakes are good.
And I'm driving a 1990 Porsche 944 S2, and I have it decked out to look like Lightning McQueen. And one of the things I had not thought through are my little groupies. They're all this tall and about 5 years of age.
They always recognize her car. It's fantastic. We have our oldest participant is 75, and she came back after her first session saying, "Why? I don't want to stop. Do I have to stop?" There are multiple skill levels. So even when we go out, we have so much fun, but it's interacting with other women who have the same excitement.
The event can take up to 70 participants, and it grows in popularity every year. You can find more information about the Porsche Club of America on my website at carsfromawomansperspective.com. I went down to Emily Griffith to talk to Rodney Perkins in the automotive department about changing your oil in your car. He runs an amazing automotive program there based on his years of experience. He's just a great guy and an incredible teacher. So what are the elements of an oil change that you need? What's our checklist?
Safety glasses, gloves. Then of course you need the oil. You also need an oil filter. Also need a set of sockets and ratchets. Need an oil filter wrench. We need something to drain the oil into.
Let's go ahead and change the oil on your car.
One of the things that it's important that many people don't do is you check the level of your oil before you drain it. If it's low, you're going to want to look for leaks.
So with a normal engine that's not leaking, if you're changing your oil every 5,000 miles, where would you expect the level
Excellent question.
to be?
Specs is about a quart every 1,000 miles. Now I'll put the vehicle up in the air. And the first thing I want to do is drain the oil out, put the drain pan where it needs to be. And as you can see, the oil is fairly dirty.
What's the next step?
Next step is to take a look at your bolts. We want to check the threads to make sure that they're not stripped. Now that I know that the threads are good and that the seal is going to do its job, I'm going to thread it in by hand. That's important. You can torque it.
Oh, you know what? Like that?
Okay, we have the oil filter wrench on the filter.
That's the way to go.
Now, do you see a rubber gasket on the end of the oil filter? You do.
Yep.
That means we did not leave the oil gasket up in the housing.
It's a good thing to look for.
We're going to take a little bit of grease. Just lubricate that gasket. We do this so in 5,000 miles when we take it off again, it will come off more easily than if we put it up there dry.
That makes sense. Preparation. Alrighty then. It's fun to do this kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
All right, it's screwed in by hand.
Now we're going to drop the vehicle down.
Can I do it?
Absolutely.
Cool. All right.
I'm going to have you put the oil in.
The smartest and best thing to do is just look into your owner's manual and find out what kind of oil is best for your car.
Absolutely. Whether you use regular oil or synthetic oil is strictly up to you. I want my engines to last as long as they possibly can. And in order to do that, you have to buy the better oil.
So for somebody that is not on top of regularly changing their oil.
You can get away without tuning up your car when you're supposed to. One thing you can't get away with is not changing your oil. I mean, it is self-destruction.
Today we talked about the importance of changing your oil, but Rod's automotive program is comprehensive. Well, Rod, thank you so much for teaching me about some of the myths and truths of the modern oil change.
Well, I hope I helped.
Yeah.
You did such a great job, Alyssa. You can change the oil on my truck anytime.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. It's been an honor.
Watch more videos that empower you with information on how to take care of your car at carsfromawomensperspective.com. Never gets old.